having to go through the energies we've been walking through. So, if you're around a crystal, you may be that crystal's earth guardian. Because they need people who will talk about energy, who will acknowledge things like Reiki and spirit, because they have these experiences. This is their natural world. They live in a world that's connected, and they can't understand why we don't. So they need a lot of support and guidance for their worldview. So you may be an earth guardian. You may, like me, be a parent, which I find quite challenging at times. And I know that I'm perhaps a quarter of a step ahead of my daughter's abilities because she's heavy on my heels. And they're keeping me just a tad in front of her to help her, to normalise, to help her to know that it's okay to be psychic, it's okay to be connected. She understands and gets it because she's living in an environment where it's normal, and that's fabulous. But a lot of children aren't. So if you're a parent, you may find your own abilities are opening up. You may not be the parent, you may be the grandparent and find your abilities are zooming off the scale. They are little batteries, and they're here to help us in our ascension process. Because the one thing about this process is you cannot do it on your own. It's not a case of Annie ascends, and Gillian ascends, and Jeanette ascends. It's not that case at all. It's all or nothing. So it's a big task, and it's going to take a long time in our earth perception to get everybody ready. But that's where you come in. So this year, you may have felt confused. You may have felt, who the hell am I? What's all this about? You may have had lots of illness. You may have had lots of turmoil. Families breaking up, families breaking down, people going out of your life, new people coming in. You might have felt that people have lied to you. You might have felt people have been hypocritical. You might have felt alone, abandoned, unsupported. You've been facing your fears. You may have been facing, well, death's just over there somewhere. Because we don't know how we feel about death till it sort of rides up and catches us. We live in a society where there isn't always a sense of continuity. In our culture, we don't have a strong connection to reincarnation. So I often get lots of people saying, when you're dead, you're dead. And when I work and give them evidence, then sometimes they have to go away and think, oh heck, I haven't thought about it. If I'm not dead, what's my life like now? What's it going to be like when I get over there? It opens the mind. So you may even have come across facing death, if not yourself, of a loved one, or a friend, or someone in your community where you've been asked to send healing. I was very, very touched to be involved in sending healing to a little premature baby. Sadly, Harley did pass back to spirit. It was just not the right energy for him down here. But he was a very bright spirit, and he came and talked to me occasionally, tell me how he was getting on, and I was able to help send energy to support his parents. I wasn't the only one, by any means. There were hundreds of us. And because I used Facebook to put out the plea, I'm sure there were probably thousands of people sending in healing. That is us working as a spiritual community. That's where we're going. The Ascension process releases you from your fear. It makes you accept, well, I'm who I am. Some people don't like me, some people say I'm boring, some people might say, oh, she's ugly. It doesn't really matter. I don't care. I'm here, and I'm who I am, and I'm doing what I'm doing. And if nobody listens, it doesn't really matter. At the end of the day, I've done what I needed to do. And I am accepting that I need to go back to factory reset. So, this next few weeks for you might feel a bit like not just walking through treacle, but walking through concrete. We're on the tail end of the energy that's been coming in all year to get us ready to serve, to say, you know what, I can do that. Actually, I'm good at that, I can do that. Hey, listen, I'm loud and I'm proud, I can give you a hand. Yeah? We're on the tail end of getting ready for that. So, you may find you've still got a few bumpy bits, a few bumpy weeks. Those bumpy weeks will be about facing the fear and doing it anyway. I love that Susan Jeffers book. I read it way long when it was first out, and it really was an enlightenment to me. But it came back this year. I had to deal with it all again this year. I had to deal with my fear as a mother. You know, there's a whole issue, a whole raft of issues about are we perfect parents. Whole shed loads of stuff I could talk for hours about. I had to face it with the work I do. I'm a medium, and you know, sometimes I get some rather nasty comments and rather nasty things said, but I also get some wonderful things said. I had to learn not to be frightened if people didn't approve of what I said, didn't approve of what I did. I had to learn to release my past lives, let them go and say, well, that were then, this is now. Because the energies of those lives, I believe, are percolated through in patterns into this life. I've got a chest infection. Now you might say, oh, right, okay, there's lots going around. There is. But the timing of this chest infection is quite significant because my birth wasn't registered until the 21st of December. I was born in October. I have always hated December. When I got to Christmas Day, it was like a relief. And I didn't know why, never knew why. And for the past few weeks, what's been emerging, and especially with this chest thing, I was a very poorly baby. Very poorly. And I wasn't registered because they just weren't sure. And I wasn't sure, because I wasn't sure I wanted to be here or not. In fact, I didn't really want to be here. And the work with several prem babies that have come my way, three prem babies came my way in the space of a week. That is always, to me, spirit working. Tell me 3 times and I'll take it on board. So I've asked a few questions and got some interesting I can't remembers. So that's also interesting for me. But what it has been about is I didn't want to be here. Even as that little dot of a baby, I didn't want to be here. I'd only been out 5 years before they sent me back. I hadn't had a chance to process the last life, which was a drowning, well, a strangled stroke drowning, and bring it back in, and there I am as a baby, poorly, saying I really would like to go, thank you. Don't want to be here. So I'm working at this moment, releasing that from my aura, because unless I release that, I can't shine my light as brightly as I should. I can't do the job I'm supposed to do. I don't know what that job entails. I mean, they're bombarding me with all sorts of stuff. They've been bombarding me all year with all sorts of stuff. But you know something? All that stuff they bombarded with me with, none of it's here yet. Because it's all got stuck. It's all been on hold. Now, at the same time, my daughter's been suffering 4 weeks in with this same thing. Last year, we went to Belfast for the anniversary of the Titanic. And when we were in Belfast, we found her previous life on this earth. And she'd been on the Titanic. She didn't die, she was a survivor. But the information we got explains so many things about her. And the reason why she told me at 3.5, 4 years old, Mum, I don't want to be here. I want to die. I want to go back where it's pink and it's perfect. That took my breath away at that time. And fortunately, I have my guides who said very lovingly through me, I'm sorry, darling, you've got to do this life first. When it's the right time, then you can go back. So, she's clearing too, and she's a crystal.